And welcome into Allen Athletics on this Sunday morning. I'm Kate Crenshaw. Glad to have you with us here on WACH-FOX 57, your home for everything you need to know about Allen Athletics. And this week there's a chill in the air, which means basketball season is in full swing. And the men's and women's teams so far have had a strong start to their 2023 seasons. First, on the women's side of things, Coach LaToya Jones in her first year leading the women's basketball team. They're off to a 3-3 start to the season, including a victory in conference play. And that came just earlier this week as they took down Lane College 63-55. It was a big win for the women's basketball team as they start off conference play on the right note with a victory. They'll turn their attention, though, to an upcoming road trip. They'll be at Morris coming up this week, and then over the weekend, road trips to Kentucky State and Central State, which is up in Wilberforce, Ohio. Now, while the women's basketball team hits the road to finish off their fall semester season, the men's basketball team will also have that same road stretch at Morris, at Kentucky State, and at Central State. But the men's basketball team has a very unique opportunity coming up in mid-December when they will take a trip to Paradise. That's right, Allen men's basketball is headed to St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands for the UVI HBCU Classic. It's a field of 4 teams where Allen will play 3 of them in 3 days, and it'll be a fun trip for the men's basketball team that adds to their student-athlete experience here at Allen, and they'll do it all while hopefully picking up 3 victories and winning that tournament and bringing back a trophy in their luggage. We'll talk to Shawn Walker as well here on the program and catch up more on his team's start to the season and their upcoming winter trip to the U.S. Virgin Islands. All that and more coming up here on Allen Athletics.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead, whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community. We're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
And welcome back in here to Allen Athletics. Now joined by Allen women's basketball coach LaToya Jones. Coach, a 3-3 start to your first year here at Allen, and you picked up your first conference win of the season over the weekend. How are things settling in so far? You know, when there's a chill in the air, it can only mean one thing, and that means conference plays here. How are you feeling about your team?
Yes, I feel pretty good about my team. I'm very proud of how they fought hard, and they fought for a full 40 minutes. That really was a point of emphasis, you know, because we've had moments where I felt as if we didn't put up a good fight for 40 minutes. And Lane was a very good team, a very experienced team, they had a lot of depth. So I knew that we were going to have to match their energy, match their intensity, and then do the little things to come out victorious, and we did.
A 63-55 win for Allen over Lane College over the weekend. And Coach, you mentioned to the Dragons' depth. They played 15, 16 girls in that one. It was continuous. Feel like every dead ball there was a sub coming in. How did your team try to manage that with constantly having fresh bodies on the defensive side for them?
Well, one, we had no personnel because we knew that, you know, out of all the people she played, you know, the way the offensive was structured, that there were key people to focus on. So we just had to make sure that we kept those people in our focus, and then also just made sure that we had our matchups correct, just to keep up with that. But then also with us, we just made sure that we could still execute our game plan with the personnel that was out there. So I switched it up a little bit, but not too much in a certain facets, because we still know that we still have our speed to be able to compete with them.
Well, Coach, obviously momentum can shift in games, and one thing that won't show up in the season stats or anything like that, but one thing I've taken notice of in back-to-back games now, your team has forced your opponent to commit 4 offensive fouls and back-to-back games, taking charges, taking hits down in the paint. How critical has that been, getting the momentum back on your side?
Very critical, because those are key turning points, because those are emotional gut plays right there. It's not something that's scripted. It's not something that is, put in a play or in a defensive possession, but it is something that's a read. And based on personnel, we knew, hey, if it's this opportunity, that's the opportunity to do it. And Cachet is always ready to stand there and just sacrifice for the team. And so I was pretty proud, because those were key turning points and those were at critical moments. So that really was a benefit in that moment for us.
Well, Cash Hangerson's been taking hits and taking charges. She's also been laying it up in the bucket as well. 5 of the 6 games this season for Cash has been in double figures. An experienced player who knows this conference. She's a transfer over from Albany State. How important has that been to have on your roster a player who's aware of the competition in this league and what she's going to be up against?
Very, very. She is one that has the most experience, but I do have some others that also know. But then again, in this league, there's been so much change up within roster. There's been so much change up within coaches that some of the structure or the personnel is different. So for like, in some ways it's the same, but in other ways it's different. But having her experience and having her come tell me, Coach, talk about some of the things that she knows, it's been helpful.
Also on the offensive side, Talia Wesley, the transfer in from Andrews College. She's put up 12 points a game so far. She's sort of that player where most of the attention in the scouting report will go to Cash because of that elite scoring ability, and that allows Talia to really get inside and rack up points as well. How do you evaluate her play so far this season?
I love her. She has a dog mentality. I have several of those on the team, and she's one where if a play needs to be made, she is going to try to make the play. If it's a steal that needs to be happening, she is going to try to do it. Like, she's just one of those role players that can also make a play when necessary. I feel like that our scoring is balanced, and I feel like that if she sees an opportunity and she knows that I'm comfortable with her taking it, she'll do so. But she just plays in all facets. She's not afraid to dive on the floor. She's not afraid to go in for a rebound. She isn't afraid to make the tough play. She's just a tough kid overall.
A former collegiate teammate of hers that's still a collegiate teammate, Maya Johnson, another transfer from Andrews College. This is a player that you've mixed in both in the starting lineup and as a reserve player. Let's talk about a dog.
Yes.
There's some moves out on that floor. The way she can skip it inside, there's some moves for Maya Johnson. What can her playmaking ability do to help your team here in conference play?
Maya is just one of those players. She is a little saucy. But she's so strong, she's so physical, and she's so confident. She might be a little smaller in stature, but she makes up for it with her strength and confidence. And I'm just really proud of just how she knows how to, reel us in, but then pull us out, and then also make a play when necessary. So Maya has definitely stepped up in whichever role, whether or not starting or coming off the bench. I think her play is still solid in either one. So the experience I have within her, I think that is going to continue just to grow within our whole team landscape as we continue to play.
From the perimeter to the post, you've gotten some good play inside in the paint this year, Coach, so far. Players like Juju Harrington crashing the boards, Casey Smith as well on the offensive side, and even a true freshman like Zion Duncan. Let's start with Zion here first, a player who steps in, and sometimes when you go into the collegiate game, it can be a bit of a shock. There can be a transitional period going from high school or AAU ball into the collegiate world, but she's transitioned well. She's getting her presence in there, and it seems like she's getting more comfortable in the post. Do you feel the same?
She is. I think that she had a real good individual game versus Payne. It started there where she was able just to really get her feet under herself, get balance to her body, and then slow herself down so she can be able to execute in a finish the open plays and then get the, defensive blocks and those things. With Zion, it's all about that transition. It is all about building up that confidence, because sometimes you can have the talent but just not know how special it really is. And so that's more of the transitional adjustment for her. I feel like that if she keeps it up and she keeps working, that we're going to really see a lot of things open up for her. And I'm very proud of her so far. She's just a freshman, and she's coming in to a new system, and I'm asking her to do just a few different things, and she's starting to catch on. So she's making me very proud right now.
Coach, it's early on in the season, and there's not a lengthy injury report, but there is one name on the list, and LaToya Boxley. Last week, she took a hard fall on the ground, diving for a loose ball, dealing with a concussion. What's the latest on her recovery?
She is going through protocols, and we are expected to have her sometime this weekend.
So LaToya Boxley will be back in the lineup coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Allen, a couple road trips coming up. Coach, as we get into the preview of those, I have to rewind a bit because you're playing a team for the second time this season, for the first time on the calendar. You're taking on Morris coming up this week, and you go back to the last time you played them, your team put up 95 points. It's the most of Allen since 2018. Only the third time ever in the SIAC for Allen that they've put up over 90 points. As you take a look back at that game, what allowed your offense to be so successful to get within 5 points of the century mark?
Well, our speed, we were really like get it and go. We were able to attack. We were able to finish at the free throw line. We were able to convert off of some of their turnovers. So I think that our team play, 100% team play, 100% effort, I was really able to go deep into the bench as well to help us get that victory by that margin. I think also with our rebounding too, we were very scrappy. We were very just like focused and just driven just to do the little things. I feel like whenever we're doing the little things, whenever we are really trying to focus on, doing the dirty work, that really benefits us. And I think that we really made that a focal point for that particular game. And I think that needs to be a focal point on tomorrow as well, because even though we were 5 points away from the century mark, there's still a lot of improvements within that game. And so I've already watched that twice. And so coming up with practice, we would definitely talk about those things, because there's always ways to be better and get better.
One thing that will definitely change in the spring is the return of Destiny Jamison Whitfield, a preseason All-SIAC selection. Now, we haven't seen Destiny this fall, and it's not because of anything wrong academically, nothing wrong team violation-wise. She's just an experienced player who only has one semester of eligibility left.
Yes.
The eligibility clock's just almost out on Destiny.
Yes.
How important will it be to get her back, and what will she bring to the team?
Yes, very much so. Experience. She was a key player. She was a key factor for the team last year, and I'm expecting the same when she comes in, in the spring. I know she has, been working very hard. She is eager to come back. So I know that she's just chomping at the bit to be a part of this team again. So I'm excited about her and how she will fit into the structure that we have here so far.
The home calendar is done for the Yellow Jackets women's basketball team, but road trips are coming up. Morris, Kentucky State, and Central State all on the road. Coach, we'll catch up after your road trip. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
She's LaToya Jones. I'm Kate Crenshaw. We'll be back for Allen Athletics.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead. Whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community, we're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
I think my images truly portray dynamic women, like being bold, being fearless. Growing up, I did not see what I wanted to be. There was just a lack of Black women, business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives. that's how I just started taking pictures. And from there, I figured out that I wanted to be a photographer for women of color. It takes a village to be a Black woman, to live and survive as a Black woman. It takes support. I found my niche and I'm sticking to it.
Each year, the South Carolina Education Lottery raises millions of dollars for scholarships and grants that help students prepare for their dream career, just like Kristen.
Back here on Allen Athletics, from women's basketball over to the men's side of things, we're joined by Shawn Walker, Yellow Jacket head coach. Coach, you're a few games into your regular season now, the first here at Allen for you, 2-3 overall and 1-1 in conference play. For you to start off, what were some early takeaways about your team here 5 games in?
Well, I'm excited about where we are. We've covered a lot of ground. We've won 2 games. In my mind, we've won 3. But we won 2 games. We had an opportunity to start the year 2-0 in the conference. We faltered there. But I'm excited about where we are. We have a tremendous amount of work to do. We're not as fundamentally sound as we need to be. We're not mind ready yet to put 5 or 6 or 7 wins together. But we have to take one game at a time. I understand where we are as a team. I understand the makeup of this group so far. And we're working hard to improve every day and challenge our guys to do the same.
As the season goes on, of course, when you're leading a first-year job, you're working through different lineups and you're figuring out what works well in your system and figuring out different strengths and weaknesses of different players. As the season's gone on, do you feel like you've gained some progress in that area of learning more about your team?
We are actively doing that. I would say we're making groundwork to do that. My first weekend, we played every player on the roster. On Saturday night, coming home, we played 15 of the 16 guys. We played Monday night, all but 2 guys. So, and really we played all but 1 guy because there was 1 guy that was not available. So we're figuring out who we need to play. We're trying to give everybody a little bit of piece of the pie to see how to make the pie whole. So that's an ongoing process for us. I mean, we do have some pieces that are just going to be stalemate. They're going to play the gist of the minutes. We're hoping to add a couple of guys after Christmas, or after the fall semester break. So we'll see how we can legitimize this team, legitimize the roster, and legitimize a style of play that helps our players be successful.
As we look back at the last few games for the Yellow Jackets, Coach, it's been a pair of victories that were both fun ones to watch, at least for me in the stands, maybe not for you as much on the sidelines. Let's go first, an overtime win over Morris. Rivalry game in non-conference play, you win it 90-83 in a game that was heavy on the 3-ball from both teams. While your team had success shooting the 3, they also struggled to stop the 3 against Morris. You're about to play them again for the second time this season coming up this week. What are some things you learned from that big overtime victory that you'll take into the second matchup?
Well, that's a great question. The first thing I learned is we're going to have to play a little bit more zone. We have a very difficult time keeping Morris in front of us. We keep in mind that each and every game is our game and not our opponent's game in terms of our reflection. But we didn't do a good job against Morris. The teams that Morris played prior to us scored over 100+ points against them. Morris had an opportunity to come here and win. We were actually down inside of 30 seconds in that game, I do believe. So it does show a lot of character that we were able to sustain their run and sustain a great performance by them and have a chance to win. But we gave up 11 3-pointers in the first half. They shot 11 of 21 in the first half. Now, we did a little bit better job in the second half. We only gave up 2, 13 3-pointers is a lot of 3-pointers to give up. So we've got to get better at defending, which I think we did once that game was over. And going to Mars now, one of their players told us, you guys got to come to us now. So we understand that it's going to be a difficult game, but every game is going to be a difficult game for us. And we will have an opportunity to see how we have improved as we play against Mars tomorrow night.
A 7-point overtime victory over Morris got the first win of the season under everyone's belt. Then you turn your attention to conference play, and that's where the wins really matter, because that's when it comes time for tournament seeding at the end of the season. And a 71-67 victory over Lemoyne Owen. Coach, one of my favorite mascots in the conference, the Magicians. You were the Houdini there on Saturday, getting that 4-point victory. It was hard fought, especially there down the stretch. Lemoyne Owen put up one heck of a fight in the final 5 minutes of regulation. How important was it for your team to get that hard fought victory to start off conference play?
Well, what I will say is that we were able to execute the game plan pretty well. We did a great job. Let's remember that inside of 5 minutes, we were up 11 points. We went to the foul line and missed 2. We missed 5 free throws in the last 5 minutes. We missed a free throw to end the game. If we are more fundamentally sound, then we win that game comfortably in the last 5 minutes. Some of the things that caused that game to be really close at the end were self-inflicted wounds. We didn't guard the ball at the end of the game. We didn't keep the ball in front of us. We didn't rebound when they did miss, and then when they did miss and foul, we missed free throws. So here is the process, as we talked a week ago about this team learning how to win. We need to be able to play until the buzzer goes off and not be watching the clock hoping that the buzzer goes off and we're up. We learned that in that game. We had not been up in a game that was tightly contested all year. Those are things that we've capitalized on. Obviously, in the last few days of practice, we practiced time and score and what the score is and how we manage that and how we get the ball in bounds and how we go to the foul line and the importance of closing a game out, putting it in the ice box is what I call it. And so hopefully we'll be better when we're faced with that the next time, as we can start getting used to being up in a close game coming down the stretch.
As of late, the latest contest for the Yellow Jackets was a 60-55 loss to Lane College. Coach, a low-scoring affair, and I know I want to ask you what your takeaways were. The number one thing on your list is going to be you have to take better care of the basketball.
I was extremely disappointed at how we did not favor the basketball in this game. We had 18 turnovers in the first half. That's a mechanism for losing basketball. We're supposed to be down 20 points with 18 turnovers in the first half. We're down 1. All right, we come back in the second half, we throw it away 8 more times. As I tell you, that's a possible 78 points. We had the ball 26 times and didn't shoot it and lost 5. So, that coupled with the fact that we missed 3 uncontested layups, we missed 6 or 7 free throws. This is a game that I felt like we should have won, not because Lane was not a formidable opponent and that Lane didn't deserve to win, but it was a game that we didn't do the things that we needed to do that were simple things to win. And so that loss haunts us. That loss will fuel us though moving into Mars and moving on to the road, because we also dropped the home game. That was very important. And Lane's a really good team. They had very good players. But a game that I felt like we should have been able to pull out.
After conference play wraps up in early December, most teams in the SIC will be done. Not Allen, Coach. You're heading to Paradise, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands for the UVI HBCU Classic. You're taking on 3 teams in 3 days there in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Before we dive into the tournament itself, how did this trip come about? It's a very rare occurrence that a team gets to an opportunity like this. I know you're very lucky that your team does.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. A couple of years ago, I was at Elizabeth City State, and we were fortunate enough to be able to go over to the Virgin Islands and win that tournament in its first year. And so I actually talked to Mr. Ernest Ruffin when I was here on my interview, and said, if I get this job, then do you have a spot for us? And he said yes. And so as I got it and came back and talked to AD Cox, and he said, okay, let's go with it. So it's going to be a unique time for our young people. College athletics is for young people. It's for students. It's for student athletes. It's the experiences that they need to have for their student athlete experience. A trip that they'll never forget. Some of these guys have never flown on an airplane. They've never been, quote unquote, out of the country, although Virgin St. Thomas is in the country, but they've never been to a destination of such. And so now they're going to be able to go and they're going to be able to enjoy it just before Christmas, with the understanding that this is a business trip and we're going to win, and we're going to compete, and we're going to put Allen University in the light that it is a formidable opponent all the way across the country, even over in the Virgin Islands.
Coach, before we got underway here, you were just talking about you're coming inside the building and it's a bit chilly outside. Will it be unique to go from a little chilly to maybe the swimming trunks on the trip?
Well, our guys will be equipped. They'll have their swimming trunks. They'll be staying on the beach. They'll be able to go put their feet in the water. It's going to be a little bit different. Our heads won't be covered with toboggans and ski masks. But the gym is always the same temperature. So I'm expecting the gym in the Virgin Islands to be the temperature of the gym here at Allen, and we are planning to go there and try to win. We know that this is a great opportunity and it's going to be beautiful and picturesque, but we're going to win. The court is 94 by 50, and so you only can have fun if you're winning.
The Yellow Jackets will hit the road coming up, capped off in the fall semester by that trip to the UVI HBCU Classic in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. For more information on that trip and full complete coverage of the men's basketball team at the Paradise Island, that is St. Thomas, you can follow along on social media at AU Yellow Jackets across all platforms, then online at auyellowjackets.com. Coach, thanks so much and best of luck here on the upcoming road trip.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back with more.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead, whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community. We're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
There's a hidden gem in downtown Columbia, South Carolina. Are you ready to witness the epitome of grit and passion? Well, welcome to Allen University Athletics. From dazzling plays on the basketball court to the electrifying crowd, we've got tradition and we've got pageantry. Fueled by determination and unwavering spirit, coaches will push everyone's limits, game after game. At Allen University, we believe in the power of unity, teamwork, and resilience. Together, we rise. Be a part of the legacy and experience the thrill of Allen University Athletics. For more information, visit our athletics website at auyellowjackets.com.
That'll close things out here on this Sunday morning. We appreciate all of you making us a part of your Sunday here on WACH-FOX 57. For everything you need to know about Allen Athletics, head on over to our website. It's auyellowjackets.com. There you'll find schedules, rosters, stats, everything you need to know, including some game recap stories if you need to catch up on some things that were talked about on today's show. You can get everything you need to know over at auyellowjackets.com. Also on social media, whether it be Instagram or X or even Facebook, it's at AU Yellow Jackets and Allen University Athletics across the web. We hope to see you again here next week for another edition of Allen Athletics. Appreciate women's basketball coach LaToya Jones and men's basketball coach Shawn Walker for stepping by. I'm Kay Crenshaw saying so long. We'll see you next time. And as always, remember to smile.